Welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
And remember, our goal is always to guide you to personal and financial wellness.
Well, we love this day. This is the day we get to do our wonderful interviews on the Don and Gino Show. That's right, for over 9 years, guiding you to personal financial wellness. And we have one of our favorite guests here today, and back by popular demand.
That's right. It's a good friend of ours, Scott Zimmerman from corporatestrategies.com, or CorpStrat, as I put into the email address all the time. But, you know, it's funny because they do so many things, and that's why if you are a business owner, you should just sit down with Scott for a little while and go over. We can't go over in one show all the things that they do. Sometimes we talk about benefits. Sometimes we talk about disability insurance,
long-term care,
health insurance,
life insurance, and I mean, you guys do it all, though.
Thank you.
He's like, yeah, we do. But you've been doing this for
this is my 30th year, actually.
Wow.
Yeah,
you started when you were 15?
16. Well, my business partner Marty, he's been in it 34 years.
Wow,
so he's got me.
Yeah, so it's been going. It's a good run.
Yeah, you know what's interesting and helpful for me is that, as you know, as Don and I talk all the time about our life team, it's the people that help us sleep at night, the people that help us know that we've done all the homework, that we've checked all the boxes. And you know, over the 9 years that we've done the radio show, one of the great things is that we have gotten our personal finances in order with our financial planner.
You listen to these guys, you're like,
oh, I need to do that, I need to do this, I need to do that. Whether it be, you know, insurance.
And you know you need to be doing this stuff too.
Yeah, trust. Christ, get a trust. I don't know what's so hard about getting a trust. I feel like I got to shake some of my friends.
Trust, life insurance, disability insurance. I mean, you go down the list. Now we feel, honestly, you've made us sleep at night. And we feel good because it's stuff we definitely know we should have. And we're like, but it's expensive. Do you think about that expense at all now?
Never. Doesn't even cross my mind. In fact, someone yesterday posted on Facebook, this morning, Robert Clark posted on Instagram. And he was showing somebody's budget, and it was $5,000 for an annual vacation, and $100 a month for nails, and some, you know, just a regular
normal a month for Starbucks.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just a normal daily average budget of the average American, and it's like, oh, but I can't afford life insurance.
Right.
And it's like, wait, you got your
can't
priorities.
Afford not to, right?
Your priorities are wrong. You know, you got to just reshuffle and prioritize your life. I know I feel good. It's bad at the same time, but I'm like, if I'm gone, everything's fine.
Right.
Everything's fine. They'll be okay. Financially, of course, there's a lot of other things.
Except now Gino gets in his car every day going,
totally. There is danger in that. So make sure you're securely married before you get a big life insurance policy. I know my wife loves me very much because she just bought me one and sent me to the Dominican Republic.
He said the alcohol's cheap.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's funny. All right, so today, I mean, there's so many different angles that we go after and stuff because the one thing that we have to touch on, I know we talk about long-term care a ton, but it's ever changing all the time, and it's something as we're an aging population. You and I were talking about that. You just got it for your girl. You have it.
Yep.
He just told me.
He said, "You're next."
I'm next.
He said, "I can wait."
Have you seen his car? I just drove with him yesterday. I think.
He didn't say I can't have life insurance. He says I can wait a little bit on long-term care.
So yes, long-term care insurance. I mean, it's so needed and it's changing every day. You know. I look back 20 years ago when we were writing long-term care insurance. It was popular back then the way it is now. It was affordable. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. Now the rates have gone up huge over the last 10, 15 years.
Because of the cost of medicine, because of the cost of care.
People are living longer than ever before.
Yeah.
That's number one. And the other thing is the cost of care is going up. You know, it's about a 5 to 6% increase a year, the cost of care.
It's crazy.
So,
it's way above inflation.
And you know what's happening? A lot of these insurance companies, it just happened to me, rate increases. So if you have a regular long-term care insurance policy, the rates aren't guaranteed. So I just got a 45% rate increase.
Wow.
Oh, everybody did with this one company. I won't mention the company. Some people got 80%.
They're just really trying to force people to dump them.
Well,
they really don't want to be in that business anymore.
They have to get it approved by the state to do the rate increase. They have to get it approved by each state. So they're getting it approved because they're showing that there's not enough money coming in that it's going to make it. So they have to do these. They do give you an opportunity to lower your benefits, but who wants to lower the benefits? You've been paying on it for years. But there's so many new.
Is there value to trade up? Like we talked a little bit about this last time, to refinance your long-term care?
Long-term care is a little bit different because if you've been paying on it for the last 10, 15 years, you've had this really low premium. It could.
But now
it could.
Jumped,
it could.
I mean,
it could. It could.
And is there new policies that allow a locked-in premium?
There are some, no, not regular long-term care, but there's so many different types of plans that are available that are really good. So, for instance, I think we've talked about it in the past, but you could buy a life insurance policy with a long-term care rider. So, for instance, if you bought
we did start.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
It's so popular because now the rates are guaranteed. So, for instance, if you bought a $500,000 policy, and it's a death benefit, so hopefully you never need long-term care, even though 2 out of 3 people over the age of 65 statistically will need long-term care.
Guys.
Yeah. Which one of us is not going to do it? It's 2 out of 3. That's statistics, right?
That's kind of like this weird policy, right? It's like that policy's good for no matter which bad thing happens to me, right?
Yeah. That's the benefit. So you're paying for this life insurance policy. Hopefully, you're going to need that, obviously. But if you bought a $500,000 policy, for instance, you can tap into the death benefit. Some companies are 2%, 3%, or 4% a month. So if you had $500,000, you could tap into it 3%. That's $15,000 a month to pay for your care. Now it comes out of your death benefit. You get the money out tax free.
At that point, you're
but you're not losing the money like on a regular long-term care policy. Hopefully, you never need it, and hopefully, it is a waste of money because it's a horrible thing.
It's just like disability insurance. I hope I never need it.
Same thing. Like you pay, it's like renter's insurance, right? Hopefully, you
but
never
you don't need it until you need it.
All insurance,
just like car insurance.
All
You're like,
insurance.
I've been paying for so long. All of a sudden, you get
right.
Oh.
But life insurance will. I mean, that's going to pay, right?
Well, I mean, if you have a permanent policy, sure. But what about me? Like I'm gambling on term, right?
That's how it works. The long-term care is attached to a permanent life insurance.
Sure, but
policy.
my point is, like for me, right? It makes more sense to gamble on a term policy. And because I'm really concerned about the next 20 years during when my kids are young and things like that.
Exactly.
After that, I mean, but
You'll
I've got
figure it
other
out.
things that are going to
hopefully you have other assets.
I have other assets that are going to take care of income replacement.
We're talking about other things. I'm just kidding. We just had a conversation last week, actually.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So it's interesting because we're talking about all these things. There's so many different tools. You have no idea. So for years, just so you know, Scott won't push you into a product that's not right for you. For years, we've talked about this other product. I've looked at 72 illustrations. I'm like, I don't like it. But I don't like it because I'm a real estate investor and I do better in my real estate investments than this other policy. It doesn't mean it's a bad policy. It just means it's not right for me.
Yeah.
And so I told him when he walks in here today.
Huh? Index annuities?
Yeah, equity index.
Equity index life insurance.
Equity index life insurance. And I said, well, it's
that.
not for everybody. And he goes, he's like, I kind of beg to differ. So it's not for everyone, but maybe it's one size fit most instead of one size fits all.
I would say an equity index life insurance policy, if you look at it and it's set up the correct way, because it's really important to set up the correct way, if you believe in the markets, meaning the S&P 500, and you believe the markets are
over time
statistically are going to, and they've done statistically really well. Yeah, over time they've done really well. An equity index life insurance policy will perform most likely, my opinion, better than if you're, and Chris Ingram may disagree, better or close to being in the market with very little risk.
Well, and I think it's just easy. Right,
well,
I think it's simple.
That's something you don't want to mess with either.
Well, it's something where when you're investing in the life insurance policy, if you set up correctly, that's the key to this whole thing is when there's a down year, you just stay at zero. You don't lose any money.
Right.
On the up year, you get a piece of the pie. You don't get the full piece of the pie. You get up to a certain amount. But in the down years, you stay at zero. So when those markets if the market goes down 20, 30%, you stay zero those years. Right. And then when it goes back up, you get a piece of it.
Your 401k doesn't stay at zero.
Nope. So that's why it's this life insurance, and there's other policies that Gino and I have talked about, permanent life insurance policies that do that also. But I'm a fan of the equity index life insurance because of the safety and the statistical returns, and you get the money grows tax deferred, and you can borrow the money out tax free.
I mean, realistically speaking, it did replace the VUL almost completely.
It's still around for certain reasons, but yes. It's VUL, variable universal life. It's a much much smaller market than it used to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's risky.
Yeah.
Right. You have to.
And you
have
like
to be
risk.
I do like risk.
Right.
I like risk because I see that people that don't take enough risk, there's not enough reward in it.
And he's 41. That helps.
Exactly.
And I can risk.
Exactly, Don.
It does make a difference.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I mean, I'm sure when you're giving advice, age comes into play without
It
a
does.
doubt.
And if you're going to need age, when you're going to need that
Health.
money, if you're going to need that money,
Well,
what
I
it's
mean,
being used for.
Even what you and I are looking at today, for someone that only has like a 10-year retirement horizon, it might not be the right tool.
No.
No. It's just sometimes tools work because you have time on your side. You can take risk and be aggressive because you have time on your side. As you get closer to that retirement window or to the age where you're going to need to tap into cash and assets and things like that, you need to start being more conservative. You need to start, and actually it might not be a bad idea. I was just going to say, it might not be a bad idea to roll a bunch of money into that and lock it in so that you don't suffer the downside risk. Now, there's all kinds of weird...
There's a lot of things, yes.
It's not that easy to roll a lot of money
But
into
that's a key factor working with you, Scott, is your experience and knowledge and stuff, because I came to you with a different insurance policy, and you're like, yeah, there's some holes in that, because I didn't know any different. Right. And it was completely different what I thought it was, too, because I'm like, really? I don't have a cash position? Oh, no, not for 7 years. I'm like, what? Where's all that money going to?
Right.
And you go, that's a good question. Meaning you got to work with a professional, because there's so many different products out there, so many different directions, and your scenario is unique to you. And I love that you have all the products, all the knowledge, all the different areas, and that you can align them correctly, because that's the key.
I am going to have one thing, too, is be careful out there, because life insurance could be very lucrative. And there's a lot of people in that industry that are new to the industry, and they really don't know what they're doing, but they do see big, fat commission checks tied to certain products. So you may be getting the wrong product just because it's the right commission.
You're right on that. And that's what we talked about, setting up an equity index life insurance, that one type of policy. You want to set up right. It's not about the commission at that point, it's about the returns on the investment. So you're bringing down the life insurance as low as possible, and the commissions are paid on the life insurance. Not about how much is going in, it's on the life insurance. So that's why I was saying, if you set it up correctly, it's great.
How honesty is?
Of course. It's great for people. I think it's an amazing investment.
Well, it's critical that everybody on our show is like that, and it's about education.
Oh, they wouldn't be back otherwise.
Well, and they wouldn't be in business. They wouldn't be in business for 30-some-odd years either.
And they wouldn't have our business.
That's right.
Yeah, because actually, I mean, we always say that the professionals we bring to the table to advise you are the same ones that advise us and that we personally use ourselves. And Scott, you do a great job, though. I mean,
I appreciate it,
just
guys.
Amazing. And thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thanks for having me.
Be part of our show. How can they get a hold of you, sir?
Anytime they can call me at 818-377-7260, extension 111, or email me at scott@corpstrat.com.
Nice.
Cool.
Always dress up our show with your good looks and your muscles and your knowledge, all in one.
Thank you.
No wonder Debbie's got a good package. Say hi to Debbie for us.
I will. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for being part of the show, buddy.
Thank you.
And thank you for being part of the Don and Gino Show. Remember, you can always find out more at donandgino.com. We also have aprgi.com. Go ahead and pop that back up. That's America's Professional Resource Group, Inc., and Scott Zimmerman that you just listened to, Jim Reap that was earlier you listened to, Chris Ingram that you listened to, and all the other professionals. A lot of them are part of the America's Professional Research Group. We put them together to give you the best resources we can find for things that just happen in life in general. So make sure you tune in to Don Gino Show. You have something to say?
Most importantly, just go to our YouTube channel. I mean, that's really where we want to spend a little bit of time and use it as a search engine. Search for any information you're looking for. We've been doing shows for 9 years. You'll find great information. Tons of shows here with Scott, so you can learn more about life insurance and so much more. So subscribe to our YouTube channel.
All right. Thanks for being part of our show.